Today's bEASTtexas segment is sponsored by Stiles Electric, proudly serving East Texas from offices in Longview and Mount Pleasant. Stiles Electric has provided reliable professional electrical services for over a quarter century. For quality workmanship and trusted experience, choose Stiles Electric and service that speaks for itself. Just some updates on the UIL basketball tournaments. We got some schedules now coming out. On the boys' side, of course, they are in the region finals this week and coming up all on Friday night. We have 3 of our teams in the air, actually 5 actually. 4 of them are playing each other. But in 3A D1 Region 2, the final in that region is Liberty-Eylau will be facing Dallas Madison. Of course, Madison, the team that knocked out Jefferson on Tuesday night. Those 2 teams will be meeting over at Tyler Junior College at 7 o'clock on Friday night. 2A D1 Region 3 final is between Hawkins and St. Augustine. Again, a couple of our area teams that we cover here from the press box. They are tipping off at 6:30 Friday at Beckville High School. So big for Beckville there to get to host a region final.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
I guess it's probably in the middle, somewhat in the middle between those 2, and that's kind of why they chose that site.
Yeah.
And then the other one here from our area, 2A D2 Region 3, Martins Mill, the boys are trying to catch up with their girls who are playing for the state championship actually today, Matt. But Martins Mill boy takes a 32-4 record on the season. They will face Chireno at 7 o'clock Friday night there at Lufkin High School. That's a little bit probably of an advantage for Chireno, I think, just in terms of travel. But Martins Mill probably will be up to the task, and that will not be a problem for them as far as getting on a bus and traveling. On the girls' side, of course, we did mention the state final is happening tonight. Again, down at the Alamodome in San Antonio. Matt, they've got a basketball fan's dream down there. I believe there's 4 games taking place each night over the next 3 nights. Very similar to what you see at AT&T for football. I mean, you can just go buy a ticket and sit there and watch all the basketball you want for 3 days. Pretty cool. But the 2A D2 final is Martins Mill, of course. They will be taking on Lipan. Pretty interesting matchup there. Martins Mill comes in at 32-5 on the season, while Lipan is 34-5. Ought to be a very competitive game there in San Antonio near the Riverwalk. That game's off actually this evening at 7 o'clock. So we'll know if we have a state champion here in East Texas by the end of this evening. So good luck to the girls from Martins Mill tonight.
Yeah, that's gonna be a ball game. That's gonna be something else.
Yes, and again, I did mention, and we've kind of gotten. I mean, and you knew more about them before I did. Really, I had to actually look up where Martins Mill is. But that's an exciting thing to have a little community like that really gets behind this kind of stuff, right?
Absolutely.
It's very Hoosier-like for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I did want to circle back here on our high school section this morning to talk about some things that we haven't talked about much, gotten much to talk about here over these last couple of months, and that's soccer. Just to kind of give an update on some district standings. And again, I will preface these by saying they're on Max Preps, which Matt and I have talked about it. It's a source, but sometimes they're not the most up-to-date source. And so I wanted to kind of give a little disclaimer there before I read what they're showing here. But I do also want to give them credit for showing these standings. And again, they're pretty much at the mercy of folks reporting the scores to them. So
that's right.
In light of not having really much else out there to follow soccer, I would encourage you soccer coaches to make sure you report your scores to Max Preps. But starting out in District 10 6A, of course, our local teams are Longview and Tyler Legacy, and they're kind of right in the middle of the pack in that district. Longview comes in with a 5-4-1 record there. It's kind of hard to tell how many games they're behind or anything because of all those guys in soccer, but the Lobos,
and it's points based. It's points based.
Yeah. But Longview is at 5-4-1 in district play. Tyler Legacy is just a tick behind them at 4-2. Both of them currently standing at 3-4 in the district race. And so as of right now, of course, they would be in the playoffs. The season ended today. Moving on down to 10-5A, our local 5A district. The boys are led by Mount Pleasant, which is kind of running away with things here. They are 11-1-1 on the season, followed closely by Jacksonville, which is in the closing stages of actually being a district member. Of course, they will drop to 4A next year, but they are 10-3-1 on the season, followed by Nacogdoches at 9-4 and Lufkin at 7-3-3. Marshall Mavericks are just on the outside looking in the playoffs. So they're 6-6-2 right now in the district schedule.
Interesting thing about that Tuesday night. So you saw Mount Pleasant's 11-1-1. Marshall tied them Tuesday night. So one of their two non-wins was the Mavericks getting a 0-0 tie in a defensive battle. So that kept them alive. I think if Marshall wins their last two games, they've still got a shot if some things go right, which is a big step forward for that soccer program. Congrats to Coach Alan Martinez. But yeah, Mount Pleasant is the class of that district.
Now, you've never lived until you've tried to work or call a soccer tie.
Ooh, especially 0-0, right?
Yes, sir. I've done that before myself, for sure. The Hallsville Bobcats are currently 7th in district. Hallsville with a couple of wins in district play. They are 2-8-3. Rounding out the bottom of the district standings here on the soccer side, Texas High and White House each only have one win on the season in district play. The difference between those two is that Texas High has a couple of ties while White House only has one. So that's really the slimmest of margins down there at the bottom in the district standings. These, of course, on the boys' side in soccer in our area. District 14-4A, an update on their standings. And again, it's kind of weird when you look at this, Matt, if you followed our local high schools. We see some teams up in what is now 4A in soccer that are normally down in the lower ranks, say 3A.
That's right.
Here, of course, Mineola and Grand Saline in particular are now playing 4A in soccer. That's just kind of an interesting twist in that particular sport. But in 14-4A soccer on the boys' side, you got Athens and Van right now currently tied at 11-2. This is a pretty good soccer league with Lindale right behind them at 10-4 in the district plate. And then you have Cumberland Academy, Chapel Hill, and Bullard all within a game of each other.
Wow.
They're in the standings as well. So that's kind of shaping up to be an interesting surge down here at the end part of the season to get in the playoffs in that district.
For sure.
And then the only other district that we cover or like to keep up with in our area here that you and I are interested in is in 15-4A. And again, some of these teams play down or play up depending on who actually plays soccer at those schools. But you got Center at the top of this league at 11-0-1, followed by Kilgore at 10-1. So that's I would guess just in baseball terms, just thinking that way. It's about a half game difference between those two. Interestingly enough, I'm looking here at Center in district play. They've scored 50 goals and allowed 10. Kilgore in district play, Matt, has scored 46 goals and only allowed 1.
Wow. And they have a loss, right?
It was 1-0. Yes.
Yeah.
I have to go back and look at their schedule just to see exactly that was against. Maybe Center.
Had to be Center, I would imagine.
Yeah. In third right now are the Pine Tree Pirates at 6-3-2. Followed by Sabine and Henderson and Carthage. Sabine has 5 wins. Henderson and Carthage are tied with 3. Tatum is in this district, and they are 0-2 on the season in district play. That's your boys' side. On the soccer side, again, they'll be playing throughout March, and then of course they will have their playoffs later on after spring break for sure. On the girls' side, in 10-6A, we look at Longview and Tyler Legacy. Again, they are very similar to the boys in that they are right in the middle of their district standings here, playoff positions actually. Forney is actually leading the district at 11-0. They are actually 22-1 on the season. Pretty good soccer program there at Forney. But Longview comes in third place at 7-4. And Tyler Legacy right now is in a battle with North Forney and Rockwall for that final playoff spot. They all have 3 wins apiece. On the girls' side. On the boys' side in on the girls' side in 10-5A, Jacksonville, again, leaving the district after this season, and they're leaving their mark on the girls' side in soccer. They're 17-1 overall, undefeated, 14-0 in district play. Very strong there for the girls down there in Jacksonville. Hallsville comes in second. They are 10-2-1. The Lady Cats are 12-3-2 on the season. Another good season there by a former ETBU Tiger standout, Hall of Famer, I believe. Aaron Erickson is the coach at Hallsville. White House comes in the third spot at 9-3-1, followed by Texas High at 5-8. And then you got Tyler and Lufkin sitting there with 4 wins. So they are, of course, in the running for a playoff spot. Rounding out the bottom part of the district standings there in 10-5A is Nacogdoches at 2-11. And then the Lady Mavs of Marshall comes in at 1-13. Although they did here just very recently get their first district win in, I believe, how many years?
It's over a decade.
Yes, it was a while.
I can't remember how long, but it had been a while. I was excited.
Of course,
for them.
as far as longevity and programs go, that's one of the newer programs I know at Marshall was girls soccer. It was added maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah,
a little bit, maybe just a tick more than that. But so they're relatively still young and trying to get their footing. So it was nice to see them be able to get that district win.
Yeah, very happy for them.
Moving on down here, District 14 4A, just very quickly on the girls' side here, Athens and Bullard are locked in a struggle atop that district. Athens coming in at 11-0, followed by Bullard at 10-1. Then you got Lindale and Brownsboro fighting for third place at 8-4 apiece. Chapel Hill's 3 games out of a playoff spot, so that district is kind of taking shape in terms of who's going to make the playoffs already.
Looks like it, yeah.
Finally, in District 15 4A girls soccer, Kilgore leads the league at 13-0. Then you got Henderson at 10-3. Spring Hill is a member of this particular district at 9-4, followed by Pine Tree at 8-5. And again, big difference between 4 and 5. There's about a 2.5 game lead over Center, Carthage, Sabine, and Tatum. Once again, are rounding out the bottom part of those district standings in 15 4A girls soccer.
Very good.
That's going to close out again our bEASTtexas section of today's show. Once again, I want to thank Styles Electric for sponsoring this particular segment on our show.